I mean, I think it's just worth pointing out that they're willing to put the economy into a recession. I feel like we don't say that out loud enough, and the market seems constantly surprised by that. That may well be the cost of this. Most people I talk to think it will be, to the extent we're in one now, pretty short and fairly mild, and we should be snapped back, by later this year.
Okay, so let's talk about the book, Crash Landing, in which there was no playbook, as you point out, for CEOs to handle the devastating circumstances. And you talk about how some of them did manage their way out of it. Let's start with Airbnb's Brian Chesky. What did he do in the midst of all the chaos?
Airbnb is such a fascinating story. They had come into 2020, expecting to go public, the biggest event in a private company's trajectory. They were going to join, the pantheon of Silicon Valley unicorns. And Brian Chesky had spent the holiday season coming into 2020 with a pile of prospectuses, kind of figuring out what story he wanted to tell. And the one he landed on was that this would be the year of connection, which has just always struck me and stuck with me as I reported the book. And then bookings just fell off a cliff. I mean, the idea that you would, frankly, leave your home for a while and go to a stranger's home seemed insane to a lot of people. He did two things. He raised money in a pretty humbling way, raised $2 billion from private investment firms in April of 2020, required a major cut in their valuation, which is something most tech CEOs are pretty reluctant to do. And then pretty quickly pivoted, I would say got a little lucky, but recognized that in fact people did want to travel, but they didn't want to go to a hotel in Las Vegas. They wanted to go to a cabin in the woods for a month. And so they pivoted to long-term stays very quickly and really were back on the IPO track by that summer, went public at the end of 2020 at a just monster valuation. And so to me, it's a lesson in acting quickly, jumping on the trend when it looks favorable, and really kind of seeing that process through.